alert! Proceed with caution. Major reveals ahead. This episode contains spoilers for movies and possible TV shows. So if you haven't caught up yet, hit pause and come back when you're ready. Otherwise, strap in. We're about to unpack everything. Enjoy.
Lights go down, the screen comes alive. Got my ticket ready for the ride. Is it a hit or is it just a mess? We're breaking it down, see that with a diss or a kiss.
I really want to, but I'm a Republican now, so I'm supposed to be racist.
Nowhere left for bad script to hide.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of The Real Movie Critics, real reviews by real fans. Yes, Lord Scuba will not be joining us on this one. I think he didn't want to see this particular movie. I kind of don't blame him, but, you know, the Psycho Nerd is here, and I do know, and he'll promote this later, but on his show, Pete's House, he does marathons of movies, and he did the Scary Movie 1 through 5 marathon, which in this review, we'll be talking about Scary Movie 6, which premiered as of recording, which is the 7th of June. This dropped on June 5th of 2026, directed by Michael Tides or Titties, depending on how you want to.
Yeah, I thought the same thing when I saw his name. I was like, okay, that's funny.
Michael Titties. With a budget of $30 million, and as of right now, as of recording, it's made just a little over $50 million, which is disheartening considering Master of the Universe is a much better movie, but it is what it is. The starring cast, we have Anna Faris coming back as Cindy. Everybody on here is pretty much returning as far as I know. Marlon Wayans as Shorty, Sean Wayans as Ray, Dave Sheridan as Doofy, Special Officer
Doofy. Yeah.
What is that? My ass. Regina Hill as Brenda. Olivia Rose Keegan as Sarah, the daughter, who's a pill popper, by the way. That joke got old really quick, by the way.
Yeah,
the whole drug thing, it got old pretty quick. Sherry O'Terry, who is still fucking hot, as Gail. Chrissy Elliott comes back as Hanson. And then Lochin Monroe as Greg. A couple of fun facts before we jump into the shitstorm that is Scary Movie 6. This is the first movie in the franchise in 13 years, and it's also the first movie in the franchise to have an R rating since the second one. I'm assuming the other ones were PG-13 or PG, probably PG-13 because of language, probably.
Yeah, pretty much.
The original project was initially announced in early 2024 with a script written and in place, but Marlon Wayans bought back the rights and he wrote a new script. I'm curious what that original script was, because
I am curious too.
Was it funnier or was it not as funny? That's my question at this point.
Based on how bad part 5 was, spoiler alert, it's a piece of dog shit as far as I'm concerned. I didn't like it at all. And I saw it twice, people. I sat through that movie 2 times in the span of the last month, and I barely laughed throughout the entire film. Just did not care for it. Now, to be fair, a lot of that is probably because a lot of the movies that are being spoofed in that film, I either don't like, or a lot of them I've never seen before. So that could be a part of it. So
the original release date was set for June 12th, which is a week from now, but it was moved up due to the response from the trailer, which again, this is one of those movies where the funniest parts are in the trailer. And that's 100%.
You know, I was hoping that wasn't going to be the case as we got closer to the film, you know, seeing the trailer and then TV spots and whatnot. But you know what? Yeah, some of the funnier jokes were actually in the trailer. So after hearing them so many times before the movie even happened, they just didn't hit as well as they would have if I hadn't heard them 10 times already. It's unfortunate.
This is the first Scary Movie that doesn't involve the Weinsteins. We all know what happened there.
Yeah.
And last but not least, one of the funnier lines in the movie, Anna Faris ad-libbed the line, "I'm a Republican now, so I'm supposed to be racist." She ad-libbed it. I thought it was funny. It was hilarious. But then, of course, what's her name? Brenda's like, well, I think all white people are racist. So, whatever. I'm going to say this. And a lot of the stuff that that's talked about in this movie, it's not just the movies they do hit. A lot of the current culture, the trans culture. They talk about ICE. They talk about there's a lot of political satire in here too. So if you are not up and up on the current trends, you're probably not going to like this movie. But at the same time, as somebody who is up on the current trends, yeah, that's all I'm going to say. I have a feeling this is not going to be a very long review because there's really not a whole lot of good things to say about this movie. And again, you had to sit through 1 through 5. 1 and 2 are fucking phenomenally funny.
My favorites.
Yeah.
But you know what? After doing the Pete's House, watching all the films, I have a newfound appreciation because I always embodied number 3 as being kind of funny, but not really. But after rewatching it again, you know what? It's funnier than I remember. I laughed a lot more this time around. Part of it might be because I've actually seen Signs at this point. I didn't watch it back then, but I've seen it now. That makes some of the scenes a lot funnier, especially after watching the Nostalgia Critics review of Signs years ago. So, okay, you know what? I have a newfound respect for part 3, and even part 4 got a little bit better after the initial viewing. Just a little, not too much, but enough to make me feel like maybe I might put it in my collection down the road. But part 5, you'll never see in my collection ever. So that's never going to happen.
And see that, and that's my thing too, is that when a movie does well, whatever it is, whatever the movie is, especially with, I mean, we got satire movies back in the day. Of course, Mel Brooks made a fucking career on parody movies, but we also have the Naked Gun series. 1 is pretty good. 2 was okay. 3 was kind of a hit or miss, depending on you. Airplane 1 and 2, both are funny as fuck. They don't make movies like that anymore. And that's what Scary Movie tried to do back in the day, is kind of revitalize that. And it was great for what it was. But then when the Wayans brothers were taken out of the writer's room is when it's like, oh shit, it's kind of, and the thing about Scary Movie 6 is it pokes fun at itself.
Yeah.
It does not shy away from the fact that there are actors that were in the movies, even though the Wayans were not involved, especially Anna Faris. But she was like, you know, Scary Movie 3 and 4, they paid me a shitload of money to be in the movie. And I'm like, you know what? That's fair. That is fucking fair.
And it's actually funny. That was a nice fourth wall break.
It's just one of those things where you can make fun of yourself, which is fine. But, you know, it needs to be funny. And it was funny. And they were talking about, you know, you can't have Scary Movie without Cindy. What was it? You can't have Friday the 13th without Jamie Lee Curtis. And then they dropped the line, yeah, you can't do Scream without Neve Campbell. And then I forget who says it, goes, yeah, that'd be Scary Movies, or that'd be Scream 6. And I damn near, I was like, oh my God, that's fucking funny. There were moments in this movie that it was funny, but again, the funnier parts are in the fucking trailer, the fucking subway scene where we get the pronouns. And
here's my basic interpretation of the movie after watching it the first time. For the record, first off, it was a packed house at the Draft House. Okay.
Yeah,
it was damn near sold out. There were plenty of people watching the first 2 acts of this movie. There wasn't a whole lot of major response throughout the film. Like from my point of view, there were times where I smiled, even chuckled, a couple of there were some. I'm not going to pretend like it wasn't funny. In the movie wasn't funny. My problem is it was inconsistent. It was very few and far between. Okay, I go back and watch the first 2 Scary Movies. I am damn near pissing myself watching these movies every time I watch them, because I go a period of time without watching them. That way they always hit because they're still funny. You watch you hear a joke enough times, it dilutes itself after a while.
It does.
It
really does.
But they're funny as all hell. They still are to this day. But this movie, there were some chuckles, there were some smiles along the way, but they were few and far between. It's not until the third act, that's where all the good shit is. It feels like they put all the effort into the third act. The party at the house, the thing with sinners. We're gonna do some half gay shit. Why only half gay? That's funny.
And that's another thing too, is they didn't in 1 and 2, they kind of pushed the envelope with that whole Ray being gay. Yeah. They pushed the envelope. It was like a constant thing. And in this one, it was watered down. This movie said they weren't going to hold back. They were going to attack everybody. I feel like they did. I think they watered it down. This movie, it was tame. I wanted, granted, people are like, oh, this movie offends me. I don't know how. It didn't. No, this movie was not offensive in any way. The only thing that's offensive is it wasn't fucking funny. That's the only thing that offended me, was it wasn't funny enough.
There was only one line in the movie that I could feel some people might take offense to, and that's in the beginning at the bar, which was, making fun of the opening of, I think it was Scream 5, where the girl's in the bar waiting for a date, and it was the girl from One Battle After Another. I think she's a good actress. She's gorgeous as all hell.
I thought it was Jade Cargill at first.
You know what? I thought the same thing for a split second, but after I really looked at her face, I was like, no, that's not Jade. Who? I was like, I know you. Where do I know you? But it finally hit me after a while. That's a great movie, by the way. One Battle After Another. If you've never seen it, go check it out. It's actually pretty good. Leo DiCaprio, always good to watch him. Anyway, there was one line she made when she was on the phone with her date where she goes something about, "Oh, don't worry about it. We the kind of people that come to watch the Williams Brothers movies," or whatever the line was, and she looks directly into the camera. You know what I mean? Like basically saying, it almost felt like she was acknowledging that, people have specific tastes, almost like they were idiots or something like that.
Yeah.
I wish I could remember the exact line. I could see some people taking offense to that, but that was the only line in the movie that I felt like was being that way. I mean, there was a lot of talk about, like you said, Republicans and whatnot. And it really, that just depends on your perception of,
really
the
is.
government and whatnot. Yeah. That doesn't affect me one way or the other because, whatever. Yeah, I got nothing else to say about that. I'm not going to go into it. I'm not going to get political, but that is the biggest atrocity of this movie, is that it just didn't feel funny throughout the movie. I had two major laugh out loud moments throughout the entire film. That's it. The first one was The Substance, where I know you've never seen The Substance, but after she takes the drug and her back splits open and the person comes out. If you've seen The Substance, you recognize the reference. But she goes to the window and wipes it, and oh my God, it's a White Chicks reference. And I love that. Because I'll tell you what, Marlon Wayans, he looked exactly like the way he did when they did White Chicks almost 20 years ago. He didn't miss a fucking
wrong
beat.
movie.
Wrong movie. And then White Chicks 2, my ass.
Yeah.
That was funny. That was actually, but here's my problem with that. As funny as it was, you're just reminding me of the good stuff you've done in the past, as opposed to this one that just didn't do it for me. But I'm still going to love that scene no matter what, because I love White Chicks.
See, I'm not the biggest fan of White Chicks. So
I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, agree to disagree. But the other moment, the big reveal at the end when we find out who the killers were, and it just kept getting ridiculous, but it was funny. And they brought back fucking Anthony Anderson, who was prominent in parts 3 and 4. And they said that Kevin Hart was going to be there, but it turns out to be Shaq. And I'm like, oh my God, and they kept on breaking the fourth wall and referencing the previous movies. And then they talk about why the brothers never came back, how they got kicked out of the franchise. I always wondered what happened. I never understood why they didn't come back after part 2, because it was successful. I couldn't get it.
That scene reminded me of the third act in the first one when he's like, no, movies don't make people kill people. People who cancel TV shows. It reminded me of that. It was it was one of those things where this is personal, and I'm gonna put it out on Front Street, because I've never seen the Wayans Brothers show that was on the WB. Never seen it, but I've heard it. But I've heard it's funny. I've heard it's funny as hell.
It's funny.
And the Wayans, they are funny. The entire family, from In Living Color, of course, with Damon doing Major Pain, Blank Man, all these movies and these things they've done, they're fucking funny. This movie just fell flat.
And there's, like you said, there's so many good ones. I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, which
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, it poked fun at action films, and then Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. I fucking love that movie.
Which they've already said, if Scary Movie 6 is successful, which is looking like it will be, they'll make a sequel to that particular movie.
I don't agree with it. It's been too long, way too long. I don't want to see these guys pretending to be these characters 30 years later.
In their 50s. Yeah, it's sad. It's really sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If this movie is any indication, it doesn't work here either. They're trying to act like children and whatnot. It doesn't work. And that's really all I have for positives with this movie. Even in my review, I really struggled to think of anything positive to say. I don't like being a negative Nancy, for better lack of a better term.
I get that.
I hate doing that shit. It's like, you got to show, like Scuba was saying during the Masters of the Universe review, you have to show the good mixed with the mixed and the bad. Yep. But if you're just going to shit all over it, then don't waste my time. I'm not going to watch your review, because you're just being a hater.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. That's 100% accurate. You got to weigh the pros and the cons. If you're just coming out, both barrels loaded with all this bad, I'm like, are you really just doing this for clickbait at this point? Are you just shitting on it because people are gonna? If you put to something shitty and have like no real pull on why it is, you're just being a douchebag and trying to get people to like, which says more about them than anybody else at this point. It's like, do you need the attention that bad that you're gonna say, oh, Star Wars was the shittiest movie ever made, and then let the comments come, and they are going to come, and people are going to defend it, and you're going to sit back and go, yeah, that's what I wanted. That's the attention I never got as a child. No, fuck that. We don't do that here. We are going to give a 100% real review of each movie. Each movie we've done, we've weighed the pros, we weighed the cons. In the Master Universe review, which is live, we did. There was a lot more good than bad. I'll put it that way. A lot more good than bad. There was a couple of things where like, well, how did that happen? But it didn't take away from the score or of the review of the score.
Well, but only mine, but only a little.
Yeah. Again, I'm the one that's always getting shit for bringing the score down, but this week it was you. Next week it might be him. But at the same time, this movie, I feel like it came out way too late. And that seems to be a trend in Hollywood when they have I don't think comedy should have sequels. I want to throw that out there. Comedy, and if you're going to do a comedy sequel, it should come out sooner than 13 fucking years. Granted, I understand that there was some shit, with the Weinstein. I get all that. And I totally sympathize. Kevin Smith, I know he went through that same bullshit with Dogma. Same thing here. Marlon had to buy the rights back. It is what it is. And we will probably talk about that next week in the concession stand, is that where's the magic? Where's the originality of Hollywood? Has that river dried up at this point? Is that river as dry as Lake Corpus Christi at this point? Do we need more rain to put more water back in there, sir? I know that is a very local thing that I'm saying, but if you watch the news and you live in Texas, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, this movie, there were parts of this movie I laughed. Some parts I didn't hear anybody else laughing, and I'm like, really? Y'all didn't think that was funny? There's just certain things that I thought was hilarious. There were callbacks to the first two that I saw. But again, like I said, I've said this before and I'll say it again, the drug addiction that the daughter had, it got old. Bad. The fact that she took her sister Tuesday, her fucking morphine drip, and put it in her own arm, I'm like, dude, that's not even funny anymore. That's just sad.
That was that got a little smile out of me, but not a major.
That was a little over the top, is what it was. It was a little over the top. You said
I can only hope.
Now we talked about what good this movie had. Let's talk about the bad. And I'm sure there's a whole lot of bad.
Well, here's my biggest thing about this movie is that overall, it was just disappointing. I was so excited when they, like you said before, when they announced that the Wayans were coming back, dude, I got excited. I was like, yes, these guys haven't done a scary movie in 25 years. I so want them to come back. Yes, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, cool. I got a little skeptical after seeing all the TV spots, and I started seeing the same fucking jokes over and over again. I'm like, I was like, there we are in trouble. But I was like, you know what? I'm not going to let that weigh my viewing experience down. But yes, the new cast that we bring in, I don't like pretty much all of them. None of them bring anything good to the table. They're all kind of bland. They're not really that funny. I will give credit. The actress that played Cindy's daughter, the one with the pretty eyes and whatnot.
Yeah.
The one that the drug addiction, she actually did a half decent job of trying to embody the way Cindy Campbell acted and sounded in the original films. And I give some credit. That takes some actual effort to pull off, and kudos to that. But unfortunately, all the stuff that she does, it didn't work for me. And then a lot of throwback characters in this film that didn't work either. Like we see Bobby for a few seconds for like a quick little smile parody. I just didn't care for it. It wasn't all that funny. Bringing back Doofy and Gail Hailstorm. Initially, I was like, why? But maybe they'll do something clever with it, and they really don't. It was the same jokes. She does the same thing, sucking his finger like in the original film.
You think she would have learned the first time. You think she would have learned the first time.
And I feel like, well, maybe they could have done something different with that to make it funny. Like in the original film, like you said, that's whole scene about the cops messing with the hooker, and they make Doofy smell their fingers and whatnot. Like, that's how you know you become a man, Doofy. It's like they could have played around with that to kind of give us a different joke, but they didn't do that. It was the exact same thing. You could have had it to where she tastes his finger and goes, why do I taste pussy? I became a man, or something like that. Just off the top of my head, that would have been funny.
That'd have been hilarious. Although they did bring back the little baby dick joke from the first one, which I thought, is this what you're looking for? And he has a magnifying glass. I thought that was pretty funny that they brought that back. Funny. I was like, okay, that's actually pretty funny, because that was, an ongoing joke in the movie that joke didn't get old. It was funny. Small dick jokes are funny. Drug addiction jokes are not. Sorry.
Not so much.
They just are not.
I was more surprised that they brought him back because his character gets his throat slashed in the original film. But then again, that doesn't stop them from bringing people who get killed away anyway. Ray got killed in the original film. Bobby got killed in the original film.
Oh, Brenda died.
Fucking Brenda got killed. Dude, Brenda has died 3 times.
Yeah,
3 times. And they completely cut her up into pieces in Scary Movie 3, and she still came back in part 4. Like, wow. What the, it's
oh
like,
my, oh my God, you killed Brenda. You bastards.
Exactly.
She's like the king of the franchise.
So I was happy they brought him back. It's like, fuck, if you're going to bring everybody back, you might as well go the full 9. Just do it.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
but
if they were going to go the full 9, though, they should have brought back everybody. You know, but Marlon had said he didn't want to oversaturate the movie with all these callbacks. And I'm like,
that's exactly what y'all did. That's exactly what they did.
Yeah. They should have brought back Shannon Elizabeth, even though we saw her die. But I'm like, fuck, if Regina Hall got killed 3 fucking times and came back, why not her?
They could have brought him back.
And I know we can't bring back Tim Curry. That's sad because he's not the same person he was when he made the Scary Movie 2.
No.
They could have brought back the redhead. They could have brought back the dude in the wheelchair. They could have brought all these people back.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And this movie just fell flat for me. I mean, I wanted to like this movie. I just like Mandalorian and Grogu. I went in going, I want to like this movie. This movie will be funny. And I walked out going, wow, this movie was not what I was hoping for. And of course, there was no post-credit scene. Why would there be? But I just sat there in the chair and I'm like, why did I pay what I paid for this movie?
I mean, there were a couple of scenes that were during the actual credits themselves that didn't make it to the film. There was an extension of the Hanson long legs, a parody they were trying to do, which I thought that was wasted. It's like you brought him back and you didn't really do anything with him. It was completely pointless. And that's another thing about the movie. There are too many things being spoofed throughout the film. In the previous films, okay? Typically you take 1 or 2 movies and that's your main point of basis for reference, okay? That's the main story. And then you throw a couple of others in there just to kind of fill things out, just to kind of flesh things out. No big deal. Yeah. All the movies were pretty much like that. Part 5 went a little bit too far, in my opinion, but it is nothing compared to this, okay? They referenced about 16 to 20 different things that have come out within the last 8 years. And it feels like what they were doing was trying to play catch up because of all the stuff that has come out, and there's been no spoof or anything. But here's my thing. Maybe what you guys should have done is taken a few things, make that a movie. This one becomes successful, take a few more things, do that. Yep. That should have been the game plan. Like, okay, let's take a few, we'll make a movie out of that. And they just tried to cram way
They really did.
Too much.
They tried way too hard, and I think they held back because they could have been a little bit more racy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I wanted to be at least a little offended, and I walked out going, man, I'm just maybe I'm more thick-skinned than I thought I am, maybe. Mm-hmm. But I do know people are sitting there saying this is a great fucking movie, and if you don't like it, you're racist or you're not, or there's a lot of things being said that if you don't like this movie, you are A, B, and C. And I'm like, I don't like this movie because it wasn't funny. Has nothing to do with anything else. It just wasn't as funny as what I was wanting it to be. Nope. It's that simple. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. And again, I wanted this movie to be funny, but when I started seeing the parts from the trailer and I'm going, these are the funniest scenes were in the trailer. Oh no, don't tell me it ain't so. And sure as fuck it was. So yeah, that I'm.
Another thing about the movie that kind of drawed on my brain a little bit, it just really irked me a bit. In the original film, Shorty is one of my favorite characters. I think he's hilarious, especially when he's being interviewed. You know, what would you say to Drew? Run, bitch!
Run!
He gets a lot of funny lines.
I took my tongue out of ass and I ripped the fuck out.
Yeah, exactly. He had some of the funnier lines, but there was one thing about that movie I didn't care for, and that was that high-pitched laugh he does. It's annoying, and it just kind of grates on my brain. Thankfully, they toned it down for the sequel. He doesn't really do it that much. He's just kind of there. He reacts. He does a few lines. He's funny. The scene about him being attacked by his weed, actually turning into a weed monster, is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Him being rolled up into a joint. Come on, that's funny. That was so fucking funny. And in this movie, he brings back the annoying laugh full force, and I couldn't get behind it. It was too annoying.
And he's a
Plus-
fucking influencer too. He's a fucking influencer making money doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's also a little
Smoking
social
weed.
commentary, but
doing TikTok videos sponsored by Angry Orchard. Like, okay. I mean, to me, I was like, okay, that makes sense because that's the way the world is today.
Pretty much.
A lot of the younger generation, they want to be influencers. They don't know how to get a real job, so they just do stupid shit like that. And I want to make it clear, I don't get paid to do these shows, by the way. We don't get paid.
No.
We do this because we fucking love what we do. Now, if somebody wants to pay me, that's fine. But I'm not doing it. I'm doing it for the love of the art, not for the love of money. I'm going to clarify that.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure there's nothing more we can say about this movie that we haven't already said. We repeated a couple of things. So I'm going to move on to the Rotten Tomato scores. Now, Tomato Meter is obviously the critics. What do you think their rating percentage is for this movie?
I'm going to say about 55, 60 maybe.
Nope, it's lower. It's 26%. It's low. It is fucking low. Now, granted, critics tend to be on the polar opposite of where the fans are. So with that being said, the popcorn meter, the fans, what do you think that percentage is?
See, and that's what I'm iffy on because I'm hearing two different extremes. People either loved it or they freaking hated it. So that's a tough call. I'll say 70%. That I feel like I'm being generous.
71 actually is what they were.
What the fuck? Wow. Yep. I embodied some of Scuba's power.
Yeah. Although he did admit that he saw it, one of the scores earlier. I thought that was kind of funny. I don't know. I think the popcorn meter rating is high. It shouldn't be that high. It should be in the 50s. I'm sorry. But then again, we live in a world where people don't watch a movie, but shit all over it. I'm talking about Superman last year.
Superman, yeah.
100%. People, this movie is horrible. Did you watch it? Well, no, I just watched the trailer. Then you don't have an opinion.
Watch the
movie. Watch the film. People are shitting on Supergirl. Hasn't come out yet. And I'm like, this movie sucks. Did you get an early freaking preview of this movie? I doubt you did. Because this movie looks like it's going to be fucking phenomenal.
I think the reason why people are doing that is because apparently the actress that's playing Supergirl apparently made some comments that some people are not really favoring at this point. I forget what the comments were. I just kind of just read it for about 2 seconds. That's probably it. Basically, it's similar to what happened with Snow White last year, where Rachel Zegler was just saying a lot of dumb shit during interviews, and then it just really hurt the movie in the long run. It seems similar to that. By the way, did you notice who the annoying nurse throughout the movie was?
Oh, yeah, it was Kim Wayans, I believe.
It was Kim Williams. It was nice to see her come back, but good Lord, that character was fucking annoying. I love Kim Williams from the original show. She's the one they kept doing the one about Miss Jenkins. Don't be talking about Miss Jenkins, even though she talks shit about her all the time.
I wrote a song about it. Like, here it goes. All right. But again, here at the Real Movie Critics, we don't give a shit about Rotten Tomatoes. We want to know what we think about this movie, but we don't give fucking stars. Stars belong in the elementary school term papers. We give out ratings based on the movie we're watching. And for this particular movie, it seems only fit that 1 out of 5 Ghostface masks.
I was going to say bongs, but
no. The bongs are consistent, but we always have the killer. So I'm going to go with Ghostface. Plus, I've already downloaded it too. So fuck it.
Oh, you jerk.
Yeah, I wasn't going to put a bong in there. How dare you? So that being said, out of 1 out of 5 Ghostface masks, what would you rate this movie?
You know, I thought long and hard about this all day after filming my review of this movie. And you know what? Maybe it gets better on the second viewing. I can only hope. But quite frankly, for right now, I give it a 1.5 out of everything I have seen throughout this year. And, you know, I watch at least minimum 15, 20 movies a month that are brand new to me, whether it's in theaters or on streaming from my collection, whatever the case. This is the biggest disappointment of the year for me so far. And I was really, really looking forward to it. That's what really hurts me a lot on this whole thing. So yeah, 1.5. I'm hoping it gets better on multiple viewings. Hopefully.
I'm hoping the same thing too, but I don't think my rating's going to change. And I, for once, don't bring it down. I bring it up a little bit because I gave it a 2. Again, it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't good. And I would have liked for it to have been as funny as the first 2, at least the first 2 that they were involved with, because those movies are rewatchable, hilarious, quotable at no end. This movie, either they've lost their touch or they held back. They did not try hard enough to make this movie likable. I'm sorry. I wanted to like this movie. I really did, but it is what it is. You know,
some of the jokes in the original film, some of those jokes were so simplistic, but they hit so hard. Like, you know what my favorite line from the first movie is?
Mm.
When they're showing, after the murder happens and Gale shoots a random kid who won't shut up behind him, and the camera's panning and it's showing all these different newscasters. And then you get to the black newscasters reporting live for black TV. White folks are dead. We're getting the fuck out of here. Come on, grab your shit and let's go, motherfucker. I'm like,
it's funny you say
that's
that.
Funny as all hell.
One of my funniest lines is from the second one when the guy in the wheelchair is with the really hot redhead with half her boobs popping out, and she's like, "Do you need some help?" He's like, "No, I can do it myself," and he starts to blow himself. Like,
I'm tossing my own salad.
Give me your strong hand. This is my strong hand. Ugh. See that movie was fucking funny. This movie, I agree with what you said though. They took way too many movie references and tried to jam them into one. They should have picked 2, maybe 3, 4 max, and ran with that. But they had to make fun of Sinners. They had to make fun of all these other movies that.
Yeah. It was like Sinners, Weapons, Longlegs, Smile, Megan, Get Out, Terrifier 3, The Substance, Wednesday. The list goes on and on. Yeah.
Pick
and
one or two.
Even some of the small references, they weren't even funny. They were just kind of there for a second. And then, whoop, that's it. So
sorry. And folks, I want to know what y'all thought.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comment. I'm curious what y'all think. So let us know in the comments what you thought. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow the Real Movie Critics. And make sure you hit that bell notification. We do drop new episodes every week. This week is a weird week because we have 3 new movies coming out. We have Obsession, of course, Scary Movie 6, and Master of the Universe. What order they will drop, I do not know. Obsession is already live, so just be warned about that. But that will conclude this particular review of Scary Movie 6. So with that being said, Psycho Nerd, promote your shit.
Okay, I already promoted this on the Master of the Universe, but since you said we don't know when these are coming out, let me just, as far as my own personal podcast, I'm kind of on a hiatus right now. I'll put some new episodes out down the road. But you can find my previous episodes. You can either type in Psycho Nerd Podcast on YouTube or just go to my YouTube channel, Repeat Movie Viewer. All my episodes are on there with all the other things that I do. I just dropped... he mentioned it before. My second episode of Pete's House, Scary Movie Marathon, just dropped it yesterday. I finished filming my own personal Scary Movie 6 review. It will be up later today. I've already done editing it. Just got to make sure it flows pretty well. I'll have that up later. And I'm debating if I'm going to do Masters of the Universe, but we'll see. Maybe. I've already been doing a lot today, and I might take a break for the rest of the day.
It's not a bad idea. I wish I could do that.
It's not.
But the links to everything Psycho does, as well as Laura Scuba Cobra, will be down in the description box below. For us, the Real Zodiac Productions is the home of the Just Zodiac Podcast, the greatest wrestling podcast you've never heard of, and of course, the Real Movie Critics, real reviews by real fans. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. The Zodiac podcast is going in a different direction. We're doing just pay-per-views and PLEs. We are not doing news. If we do any news, it'll be in the hot tag, which is a kind of like a bookmark of the show, which there's a couple of news stories out there that I want to talk about that I've bookmarked already. But again, you can find both of them on YouTube together under Real Zodiac Productions. And of course, both those podcasts, the Zodiac Podcast and the Real Movie Critics, have their own Spotify pages. Having an issue with Apple Podcasts at the moment. I'm trying to fix that issue, but once it's resolved, I will start promoting that again. And also make sure my Linktree link is down below. Make sure you follow the TikTok. I do the shorts on there as well. And I do them on TikTok and YouTube. I do the shorts and as well as the Facebook page as well. So make sure you're liking all of those. Get those numbers up. We're currently sitting at 72 subs on YouTube. Let's get that up to, 90. Seems like a nice number. And I'm noticing that people that are watching the show, there are people that are not subscribed. Like, it's a substantial number. It's like 85% of people that are watching are not subbed. And I'm like, dude, hit the sub. Come on. Give us some love. It's free. Don't cost you nothing. If you want to give us money, that's fine. But that's neither here or there.
We'll take any kind of love we can get, man.
Exactly. But we got plenty of attention as kids, so we're not looking for attention. But for the Psycho Nerd, I am DJ Zodiac. This has been our review of Scary Movie 6. And again, let us know what you thought in the comments down below. But for the Psycho Nerd, me being DJ Zodiac, we want to thank you for watching and or listening. And remember, kids, there's always time for one more binge. We will see you next time.
Lights go down, the screen comes alive. Got my ticket ready for the ride.